IV drip rate calculations can feel confusing. You've got all the numbers, but you're not sure how to put them together. And somehow they always show up on exams. In this video, I'm going to break it down step by step so you can finally calculate IV drip rates with confidence. By the way, I'm Dr. Jess. I'm a pharmacist who will help you master pharmaceutical calculations. In today's video, we're going to go through two IV drip rate calculation problems together. I'm going to show you for each one of them, I'm going to show you two ways to solve it. The IV flow rate formula method and then the dimensional analysis method. So you can choose whichever method you feel like makes the most sense to you or is easier for you. Okay, let's jump right in. So what is the IV drip rate formula? So this is the formula to calculate IV drip rate in drops per minute. So it's going to be the volume in milliliters times the drop factor in drops per ml divided by time in minute. Now, something that is very important here with the formula that you need to be aware of. Pay attention to your units. So, for example, if the volume is given in liter, make sure you convert it to milliliters. The time, most likely the time is probably going to be given in hours. If it's given in hours, you need to make sure that you convert it into minute before you use it in that formula. Okay. The second method is dimensional analysis. So for dimensional analysis, how it works is you're going to set it up in such a way that all the unwanted units cancel out and you're left with just the desired unit. So in this case here, the desired unit is drops per minute. If you want to learn more about dimensional analysis, I have a video specifically on dimensional analysis and I'll link it in the description box. Let's look at the first problem. So you have the order, it's 500 ml over 4 hours. The drop factor is 15 drops per ml. You're asked to calculate the IV drip rate in drops per minute. So first, we're going to use the formula, and then I'll also show you how to do it using the dimensional analysis method. So let's look at the formula. So for the formula, so it's going to be volume. So we have the volume and it's already in ml, so no conversion needed. So 500 ml, okay. The drop factor is already given in drops per ml. It's 15, so that's good. Now let's look at the time. The time needs to be in minutes. The time is given to us in hours. So the first thing we need to do is to convert the time to minutes. So to convert 4 hours to minute, it's going to be 4 times 60. So that's 240 minutes. That's because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now that we have the time in minute, now we can use the formula. So it's going to be 500 ml times the drop factor 15 divided by the time in minute 240 minutes. So the answer is 31 drops per minute. So as you can see for the formula, you need to make sure you have all the numbers that you need for the formula, making sure your units are correct. And once you have that, you just plug everything in the formula to find your answer. Now, let's look at the dimensional analysis method. The dimensional analysis method, I would say would be a good method. Let's say you intentionally you were planning on using the formula, but somehow you forgot the formula. You can always use dimensional analysis. Now, for dimensional analysis, like I mentioned previously, the way you set it up, you want to make sure that all the unwanted units cancel out and you're left with just the desired units. So the desired units here is drops per minute. That's what we want. So because that's what we want, we're gonna start with drops on top. So we have 15 drops per ml, that's the drop factor, okay? So we have ml on the bottom. Now we're going to need ml on top, okay? So 500 ml over 4 hours. So we'll have 500 ml over 4 hours. Okay, now we're going to need hour on top, so hour can cancel out. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Now let's take a look. ml cancel out, hour cancel out. All we have now is drops in minute. Drops on the bottom, drops on the top, minutes on the bottom. So this is good. That tells us that we set it up correctly. So we'll have 15 times 500 on the top divided by 4 times 60, so 240. So the answer is going to be 31 drops per minute. So same answer as the formula method. It's just a different method. Let's look at the second problem. So the order here is 1.25 liters over 24 hours. The drop factor is 18 drops per ml, and we're asked to calculate the drip rate in drops per minute. Okay, so formula method, we're going to try the formula method first and then dimensional analysis. So formula method, the volume here is given in liters. So we need to convert that to milliliters. Okay, so how do we convert liters to milliliters? We multiply by 1,000. So it's going to be 1,250 milliliters. Okay. For the time is given in hours. We need to convert that to minute. So how do we do that? 24 times 60, that's 1,440 minutes. By the way, for more practice on unit conversions, check out my unit conversion workbook, link in the description. Okay, so everything is converted. So now we can use the formula to find the answer. So the drip rate is volume, so 1,250 times 18, which is the drop factor, divided by the time in minute, 1,440. So the answer is 15 drops per minute. Now let's look at this. Let's try to solve this using dimensional analysis. Okay, so how we're going to set it up. The units that we want is drops per minute. Okay, so that means we're going to start with drops at the top. So 18 drops over 1 ml times 1,000 ml over 1 liter. Again, we set it up, we put 1,000 on top because we want the ml to on top to cancel with the ml on the bottom. Then we have 1.25 liters over 24 hours times 1 hour over 60 minutes. Now let's take a look. ml cancel out, liters cancel out, hours cancel out. All we're left with is drops on top, minute on the bottom, which is exactly what we want. So the answer is going to be here, 16 drops per minute. Again, as we can see, with both methods, we get the same answer. If this video helped you finally understand IV drip rate calculations, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more calculation videos every single week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.